It's the 9 and 6 LA Clippers. It'll be Paul George, too close for comfort.
And I like the play call.
Let's see if the Pels get the play they want. Jumping around is Eric Bledsoe. Now Nikhil wide open in the arc.
And that's the difference. See the difference?
His way in this young season, but they are very hopeful for him to be kind of a cornerstone for this team. George, the second consecutive possession he takes a shot. This time he misfires.
And I thought he'd take the layup. Instead, Jonas Valanciunas couldn't come up with it. Paul George has it with Zubats. He's got a mismatch, but George will take it himself and curl it. Won't get it. And a good job to bat it out. And right at 30% on his triples to start the night. Good challenge. Paul George gets it anyway, though.
So smooth, man.
That's old school fall away. Into the offseason with a new contract. Started with Oklahoma City. Satoransky doesn't get the roll. Valanciunas was there, but it hung on the lip of the rim. Satoransky doesn't get the roll. Valanciunas was there, but it hung on the lip of the rim. Now you got to stop it, and a real nice pass. Paul George. Paul George with the dime and an early lead for the Clips. 18-point average and 41% beyond the arc. Paul George, hand on top of the basketball, his shot. Yeah, he's long to begin with. He's back in Southern California. That's where he grew up in Palmdale.
And he has become the Robin to Paul George's Batman.
Josh Hart. And
the difference with them closing out the Utah Jazz the way they did.
Paul George has the length, and it stays out. 5.5 to play. Pels only down 6 despite their struggles at the offensive end. The kick, he just stepped on the ball, and it was inadvertent to begin with. Mid-range, Kyra. Great look. Paul George has it.
And Hartenstein, who's in there right now, is going to put his head under the rim. There's no one to rotate to.
On the deflection, it's Reggie Jackson. Hurt back in time. But Paul George with a good look. And out of bounds it goes. Right on line, but a little bit strong. But there's a rhythm of their 3 triples. They're only 3 of 10 beyond the arc. They haven't had to shoot threes. Paul George step back. And fortunate that Brandon Ingram didn't get a foul.
And now what I like that Willie did, he changed the coverage. He changed the coverage. So that time it was more of a drop coverage as opposed to a hard show.
Herb picked off on the play. They're still struggling from beyond the arc.
And be smart offensively.
Now the run out. Boy, Jonas was held up.
I couldn't agree with you more.
You know, you put an arm on a guy from the head of the key. Sakira off the bench has been a revelation early in this game. He battles. Good crossover. Paul George gets the best of him. It's all NBA talent. Paul George and Zubats with the left hand.
That was really nice footwork.
Good pivot. Eric Bledsoe, final 50 seconds. Paul George coming off that rub.
It's not easy.
Nikhil with an answer. No. Paul George thinking 2 for 1. So it's
he sees a 2 for 1. It's going up. Yeah.
It'll be chased down by the 2. Paul George. Ooh, he put it out there, didn't he?
Yeah, but Herb's good.
Herb is good.
Herb is good, man. I'm telling you.
Done.
Herb is good.
What a defensive sequence for the rookie.
Yes. Forcing the Clippers to play one-on-one isolation basketball.
Paul George on the step back. He's got that in his bag. Short shot clock for Paul George, but he gets a beat on the baseline. And he gets to the glass. 3 minutes gone by. Very productive 3 minutes. Paul George.
You got it all.
Valanciunas, he got popped. Paul George with Zubats.
I tell you, they got a nice chemistry with each other. Paul George and Zubats, they have a really nice chemistry with one another.
Instead, Zubats, but it will go to Paul George. And let it go out of bounds, it will. So the stop for the... So first of a back-to-back for the Pels, second of a back-to-back for the Clips. They played Memphis last night, lost by a dozen. It's controlled by the bigger guy. Comes into George. 5 of the shot clock. It'll be Batum going up. Gets the triple. 1 point lead for the Clippers. That's what Nick Batum has been able to do. And Paul George.
You got to give him a step. You got to give him a step. That's what he's so good at, creating space. Good job by Herb, too.
Smart play. Wide open, the wrong guy. Stays out, but Hartenstein's there. And foul on Jackson Hayes. He's not been shooting well from three-point range this year. Brandon Ingram held by man from behind. How about a fall away? A little bit short. They're letting him play, I guess. 1-point game, minute and a quarter. Left in the third. Paul George and Herb took it away. Put it right down on his leg. It'll be man on the run out. And too good a look. Paul George not close, but Zubac's backed out. Look at a third try. He's off and they're dead last in second chance. They're dead last in second chance points. They only have 2 tonight. Paul George's mid-range game doesn't work.
You got to rebound the basketball though.
Yeah, let's grab it finally. So it's 10-2 in second chance points, but this is their 4th try. And equalizer, no. Brandon Ingram brings it down.
Four defensive stops in a row and just playing through the contact.
Kyra. And you got to help with man. Smart play by man over the big. Arced it way up there. They're out, don't they? Josh Hart tried to deny. Mid-range, Paul George, short, and locked up. Valanciunas made sure Zubac didn't get it that time. They continue to get stops. Pelicans have scored on 6 of their last 7, but the reason they're winning is because of this end of the floor. They've held the Clips to 78 points on 40%. Paul George rattles it.
Nothing you can do about that. Nobody else touched the basketball in that possession. It's a heck of a shot by a heck of a player.
Play call from Willie Green. Josh Hart with Brandon Ingram on the same side of the floor and a reach on. So Herb will bring it in. The pick for Brandon Ingram. He'll get it. How about a fall away? Ingram, a little bit strong. Paul George cradles it. Now Paul George. Rebound. Tapped around. Josh Hart has it. A team that went to the Western Conference Finals last year. Brandon on the run and taken away from him by Paul George.